What is going on, everybody? How you doing today? My name is Jim Games, and I react to videos on the internet. And in today's video, I will be reacting to the 10 things you don't do in Germany. Now, you may or may not know, I've been kind of on a Germany kick lately. I've been learning about the people, the culture, the climate, the geography, and the history of Germany, and it has been an incredible experience for me and a very rewarding experience for me because I get to talk to a lot of people from Germany in the comments and get a real-world, first-hand account from people actually there. It's been an incredible experience. I'm very grateful for everybody. One day, I would like to visit Germany. I really would. For now, I just got to travel via these videos, but one day I would really like to visit. So I want to know ahead of time, what should I not do in Germany to stand out, get arrested, or anything like that? So hopefully this video is going to teach us that today. If you're new around here, please consider liking and subscribing. I do this sort of thing all the time, and I still have a ton of different German videos that I have to go over. So we get a lot of content on the way. Let's switch screens and let's get right on into this. All right, let's pop my headphones on. All right, so the 10 things you do not do in Germany. Here we go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. Today we're in Munich, and today what we have for you are the don'ts of traveling Germany. Because there's so many things you should do, like visit Munich here, or going to Berlin, or the Harz Mountains. There's so many great things to do here, but there's a few cultural don'ts you should know, so when you come here, you can have a better time. And the first don't I have for you is, don't assume Germans are these cold, unfriendly, uncaring people that we've kind of been taught by stereotypes throughout the years. Germans are actually really wonderful people. They're helpful, they're kind, they're honest, extremely honest. And the thing is, to see that, you need to ask them for your help, ask them for some guidance, and they'll be glad to help you. And that's the thing is, some people think, oh, German service isn't very nice. Well, the thing is, German service is very professional. And if you ask them for help, I guarantee they will know the entire background of every meal you have and everything in the shoe store and all kinds of stuff. They'll be able to help you. But don't think that they're these cold-hearted people, because Germans really are super nice. And if you
This is true. This is something I know from real-world first-hand experience. So growing up, I didn't know any German people. In fact, the only German people I know to this day are the people that I talk to online. And growing up, like, what I knew from Germany was World War II. You know, and so at a very young age, I just assumed, like, oh wow, they're just evil people over there. And then as I got older, you know, teenager and whatnot, I realized, you know, it's just a horrible historic fact that happened. But then even then, like, just watching movies in America, like, the German guy is always portrayed as the bad guy. Yeah, just think Die Hard 3, man. Like, or no, is it 3? Maybe it's 3. I don't know. I think Die Hard. But Germans are often portrayed as evil in America, whether they're the bad guy or not. Even in, like, cartoons. I remember watching cartoons where the bad guy had a German accent. So it's something that's like, I don't know why it's like that here in America. Maybe it's lingering from World War II or what. But for whatever reason, we paint Germans as the bad guys pretty often. At least for kids. I don't know if it's still like that, but at least for my childhood, it definitely was. What I've learned, though, is after putting up my first video on Germany, it could not be further from the truth. These are the most down-to-earth, cool people I have almost ever met. They're incredibly helpful, they're incredibly kind, and they really just want to share some of their experiences with me. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. And I think they recognize that, and that's why we kind of are having this relationship. But yeah, my opinion on, like, the average German person and what they're kind of like has greatly changed over the last, I don't know, 6 months. So it's crazy to me.
you make a German friend, I guarantee they will be with you until the end.
Yeah.
They make the best friends ever. So that's the first thing, is don't think they're bad people. Now, my second don't for you is don't cross against the light. You know, don't jaywalk.
Yeah.
Germans really like their rules, and they really don't like people breaking them. And that will mean tourists as well. And one of the biggest things is crossing when the light is red. They don't like that. I lived multiple years in Germany, 3 years in Germany.
Car.
And there's been quite a few times where a grandma, an Oma, stops me and says, hey,
Oma.
Bei Rot musst du stehen, bei Grün lass du gehen, which means by red you stay, by green you're allowed to go. And that's one of the things, is the Germans do like those rules, but the biggest one that a tourist doesn't want to do is don't jaywalk.
See, that's the biggest rule too, huh? Okay, I'll try and follow it when I come over there, or I'll follow it. I'll follow the rules, all right? I'm in your country, I'll follow your rules. But here in America, that has got to be the most widely broken rule, or broken law ever. we all just walk in any different direction that we want to. We're all over the place. If you've ever been to New York and you just see it, it's something wild. It's if there's no cars coming, we're running. Or not even that. We don't even run. We just like gingerly walk across and make oncoming traffic just stop because they don't want to murder. So it's got to be the most broken law in America. People break the law in America. I don't know how to word that. We jaywalk all the time. We do not stop for anything. I think what it is, I mean, I see it almost all the time. Whenever I'm in a scenario, whenever I'm in a city or something like that, someone walks up, they hit the thing. 2 seconds later, if it's not telling them to walk and there's no cars coming, they're walking. 99.9% of the time. But I guess Germans, they are big into the rules, they follow the rules, and they stick to them. That was a cute little story, hearing that little grandma telling him, nope, you follow the rules. I kind of like that. That was neat.
Also, you can get a fine for that, so, heads up on that one.
Yeah, here, 5 to 10 euros.
Now, our third tip for you has to do with the Pfand, the deposit. Don't just throw away your bottles, like your big bottles or cans, and don't just leave your Christmas market mugs and stuff like that out, because you have to put a deposit on a lot of these things. For example, if you're at the Christmas markets and you get those cute mugs that everyone loves to get, look, usually you're going to be paying between 3 and 5 euros for the deposit on those mugs, and if you walk off with it, great, you have a cool souvenir. But the thing is, do you really want 8 of the exact same mug? For example, we were here in Munich and we got Glühwein and Kinderpunsch, the children version of it, and there was 8 of us. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 euros of a deposit. I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
I got to use that 100 euro shine, that 100 euro note that I've never, got to use before, just on the deposit. And make sure you're turning those things in. Don't just throw it away, because it actually does add up after a while. So save those. Now, my fourth.
So that's crazy. Yeah, in America, we have kind of a recycling policy where you give you they give us like 5 cents back for a can or a bottle or something, but it's not a euro, which roughly translates to $1. Actually, it's closer to like $1.50 or maybe even more. So it adds up. Like I was just saying, like between him and his whole family, that's $40 in redemption right there. Pretty cool. Or you can just walk away with it. If you want a nice little souvenir that means something special to you, I guess you can just walk away with it and you get charged for it. But I could see how that would add up pretty quickly if you just throw it away. America's a throwaway culture. It seems like you guys are big into recycling and big into reusing.
Tip for you is, if you're invited to go to a German's house, because you know what, if they like you, they probably will invite you. They are really nice like that. But if you're going to go to their house, don't forget to bring either flowers or wine or candy. Okay, that's kind of a typical thing you bring over there. Also, don't wear your shoes inside. When you come in, take your shoes off. Sometimes they even have house slippers for you when you get there for their guests, but it's kind of rude to have your shoes on inside the house, so just know that. So that's
pretty similar to here in America. If you get invited to a house party or something like that, we'll bring a bottle of wine or something like that. Not every time, but it's something, it's a polite thing to do. As far as not wearing shoes in the house, we kind of do the same thing over here. It varies from household to household, but whenever I walk into a new house, I immediately look down to see if there's a shoe rack or something like that, just so I'm not tracking mud through anybody's living room. So these are pretty common across the board here for us as well.
Make sure you do bring something.
That is got to be the cutest little boy ever, too. Look at his little nose. Adorable.
To their house, if you get to be, if you get really invited to their house, it is really cool. Now, the fifth don't I have for you actually is specifically for tourists that I've been seeing a lot lately when I've been traveling through Germany, especially Berlin. People have been using the Jewish memorial in Berlin, with the stone blocks and stuff, kind of like a parkour course, or this is the place to make the coolest things in Berlin. And people are climbing up them, jumping across them, doing silly pictures.
Oh, that's in bad taste, man. That's in bad taste. I get it if you're a kid or whatever, and you might not realize the weight of that situation, but once you know what that is, you probably shouldn't be playing on it. But at the same time, it does kind of look like a giant jungle gym. I can see it from both angles. You know what? If I had kids and I was over in Germany and they kind of wanted to jump from stone to stone, I'd probably stop them. But if they were really having, I don't know. Maybe I'd let them. But taking selfies, doing that behind, no, that's in severe bad taste. That's not cool.
duck face.
Yeah, duck facing it. Nope.
It's a memorial to dead Jewish people.
I know.
What is wrong with you? I mean, this is not something you do. You don't do that. Also, at the concentration camps, we're seeing more and more people doing their duck face selfies. Look,
oh my God.
This is where they burned everybody.
I've seen that so much on the internet, a couple of them, just like teenage girls, like by the tracks, like right by the entrance, doing duck face like this guy's doing right now. And I'm like, that has got to be one of the worst pictures taken ever. It's in such bad taste. Oh my God. I mean, who are you trying to impress? What are you trying to do? It's just gonna, it's just, I don't think that they're evil people. I don't think these people doing duck face outside these concentration camps, I don't think they're evil people. I think they're just misinformed or ignorant.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So please have respect for people when you go to the concentration camps and the memorials and things like that.
I don't think, because I do want to visit some of these concentration camps and just to see a part of history. But I think when I go, I won't be taking any pictures. I feel like it's because what is it for? You know, even I don't think I take any pictures because you scroll through your things and I don't know. Even if I go, I won't take any pictures. Not of me, nothing, not of concentration camp wise.
Because the Germans show respect, you know, for the horrible things that happen, and we as tourists need to do a better job as well.
Yeah.
So don't be a tool when you're visiting some of these concentration camps, okay, or these memorials. All right. Now, my sixth don't for you is don't wait. Look, whether it's a line or you're ordering food, you don't wait in Germany. Germans are go, go, go. We are very efficient. We want to get things done. So you're going to be on time for things, all right? Very punctual is important. But for a tourist, when you go to restaurants, what you need to do is when they give you the menu, look in it right away so you can order right away. Because it's not like in the U.S. where they come back every 2 minutes to see us, need anything now, need anything now. They come when they come. So if you get that chance, make sure you do place your order, get your drinks and your food in and things like that. And when you want to get your bill, you ask for the bill. They'll come right away with their big wallet, okay? And you pay them right there. And when you pay them, you'll say, let's say it's a 27 euro bill, you will say 30. You just say the total amount you want to pay, and they'll put that down for you, okay? So then they give you the change back from that, okay? But don't wait. Like once they seat you, they give you a menu, it's time to order, okay? When they come and ask. Because if you wait, you might be waiting a long time. Now, my seventh
looks pretty good too. The food. I think what that's attributed to, and I do work in the restaurant industry in America. I think what that's attributed to is a tipping culture. Here in America, our waiters, they're paid something ridiculous like $5 an hour or a couple dollars an hour, and then everything else is completely reliant on tips, which is it's a kind of a cool system. I know it pisses some people off, but it's generally the waiters make a little bit more than they would if they had like a traditional 9-to-5 job where they were getting paid a separate rate. But in Germany, it's not like that. In these places in Europe, like they're not like in America. We kind of cringe when they kind of come in to eat because we don't know if they're going to like not leave a tip or whatever, because they might not know the cultural differences. But I do know like in other countries and in Europe in particular, their tipping is not a big thing. Like they might leave $1 or $2 extra if there's change if you thought something was really good. So you have to understand, like these people are just like they're working like a job where they're getting paid an hourly rate. So no matter how hard they work, they're only going to make that X amount of dollars. So they might as well just try and like. They'll do. I mean, not saying they're lazy or anything, but there's really no incentive to be like coddling somebody sitting down and coming back every 2 minutes and doing that sort of thing because they're getting paid the same regardless. Whereas here in America, if you were to do these same practices, not come back and check on things, not do whatever, you might not even make any money off that table. And eventually what that's going to do is it's going to cost you money because you have to tip out. So if somebody comes in, they spend $100, but they didn't like the server, so they didn't tip anything. Our servers still have to tip out something like, I don't know, like would have been 20% on that tip. So that would have been $20. So those servers will have to tip out $5. So sometimes it will literally cost waiters or servers or waitresses, whatever you want to call them, when people don't tip in America, like $5. So they're paying for the pleasure of taking care of you, just for people that come over here. Keep that in mind. And I will keep that in mind when I go out to eat there. I will be incredibly down to it. I will check the menu out ahead of time, and I will not waste anybody's time. And dang, that thing looks delicious too.
Don't for you is don't experiment on the Autobahn. Okay, I know the Autobahn sounds really cool. Yes, driving without speed limits.
That's what I want to do.
Look, I've driven on the Autobahn before. There's a reason why I go in public transport. It can be really scary because we were going about 100 miles an hour, you know, like 140K. We're going and we're in the right lane because there's BMWs and Mercedes going, and you just see them go by like, wow.
Dang.
And it's kind of dangerous when you're out there, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So please, if you're not comfortable with these fast speeds, make sure you don't experiment on the Autobahn. Stick with the public transport. It will take you everywhere here, which is so awesome about it.
There's no way I'm going to Germany and not getting in a fast car and opening up in the Autobahn. No way. I'm experimenting. I'll be cautious. I will make sure that I am on 10 and 2. I will make sure that I am locked in and at 1 with the machinery. And I will be 100% laser focused, but there is no way that I am coming to Germany and not going to fly down the Autobahn. No way.
Germany. Now, my 8th don't for you is don't expect to shop on Sundays. Look, most of Germany is closed on Sundays, except for museums and restaurants. So if you want to do your shopping kind of stuff, if you're here for a long weekend, do it on Friday or Saturday, because on Sunday, a lot of the stuff is closed. Now, the things that usually tend
I think that's kind of cool that a lot of them are closed, and businesses like that were here in America for a while saying, you know, the whole goal was saying, like, you know, the companies were trying to be like all like politically correct and stuff and saying, well, we're going to give people Sundays off so they have some time to spend with their families. And then basically other places still stayed open. And then now everybody just stays open and everything is just open all the time over here. And we don't have any time for our families because we just work ourselves into a grave. I think that's kind of cool that you guys have kind of a day of quiet. I was just learning that on Sundays and Good Fridays, they're known as quiet days in Germany. And I don't think he touched on that, but some places are just closed on Sundays. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's kind of a day of rest and a day of just kind of maybe reflection on the week and time with family. And I think that's important.
Be open on Sundays. Things that are attached to the train station. So if there's a mall attached to the train station, that'll probably open. Also in December, they'll have Sunday hours a lot of places. But just know, basically on Sunday, everything's basically closed. Also on Mondays, a lot of the museums are closed. So if you're going to do a long weekend, including that Monday, make sure you check and see and say, hey, let's do our tourism stuff on Saturday and Sunday and do our shopping on Monday.
Oh, that's valuable information if I'm going to go over there. I'm going to have to remember that.
My 9th don't for you is don't forget to have cash. Look, Germans, yes, they have credit cards, but they prefer cash. Yes, have your euros ready. There's ATMs all over the place you can use, but you really want to have cash with you because they don't accept credit cards everywhere. A lot of places they do, and a lot of times you need to have a chip card, you know, for your credit cards and stuff like that for everything to work. But just know that cash is king here in Germany, so don't forget to keep some with you just so you have it. And my 10th...
Okay, so before we get to the last thing that you should never do in Germany, let's talk about this cash thing for a little bit. Now, I personally have never been to Europe, Germany, never overseas, anything like that. I've been here my entire life in America. And stories that I've heard of people going over to Europe that it can be kind of dangerous in some spots, and like robberies are a real threat over there. So like I've known people that have gone over and they have like these packs that they put all their cash underneath their clothes. Yeah, so if they get robbed and they say, give me your wallet, I give them the wallet, but there's nothing in it. The cash is underneath their shirt. And from what I understand, like it's a pretty big problem over there. But this guy is saying cash is king and you might not be able to pay with a card everywhere. So I guess my question that I have, and it doesn't seem like it whatsoever, but is Germany dangerous? Is there like a big crime problem? This is something I haven't found in any other videos. So if you're from Germany and you know, is Germany dangerous for tourists? Or do we get robbed pretty often? Is this something that we have to worry about? From all the pictures and the videos I've seen of Germany and tourism in Germany, it seems like it's a pretty safe place. Nobody ever touches on crime or any of that stuff. Not that I've seen in any of these videos. So, but I mean, crime is everywhere. It infiltrates everything. But I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure out how to carry cash and make sure to stay safe at the same time somehow. Hopefully you guys are just chill. Don't for you with coming to Germany is realize that
you don't just see half-tempered houses here. Germany is not just a stereotype of half-tempered houses and beer halls.
Yeah.
There's so much more to Germany. Whether you're going to Berlin, where they have, you know, the Potsdamer Platz and all this new stuff there, or you're here in Munich, where the tech stuff is booming, or Hamburg, which is a rebuilt city. I mean, you have all these cool modern cities here in Germany, and it's not just half-timbered houses. And the thing is, you can see the half-timbered houses, Quedlinburg and Wernigerode and Goslar and the Harz Mountains. Oh, my heart just falls in love with that place. Here in Bavaria, go to Regensburg and Bamberg, Oberammergau. You can get that old Germany, but also you have very modern Germany as well. So make sure you explore both sides. Don't just try to think it's going to be half-timbered houses, but experiment all the wonders of Germany. Anyway, I hope this helps you out to have a better time when you are here in Germany. If you have other don'ts about German culture, please put it in the comment section below so we can have more help for our awesome travelers.
Very cool little video over here. I actually learned a lot here. The cash thing I did not know about. The jaywalking thing was kind of surprising to me. I guess you guys take your jaywalking very serious. I thought it was just like a couple euro fine or something and people just broke it whenever like they do here in America. I guess not. I guess you guys are down for the rules. The one thing that like didn't surprise me that would have surprised me 7 months ago is if like I watched this video and I saw him talking about the German people and about how friendly and kind and just kind of down to earth that they are. They invite you to their homes, or I mean, they seem incredibly kind. And it's not fair because here in America they're often depicted as the villain. So that's going to sleep in your psyche one way or another, whether you in my adult years, I didn't think of Germans or Germany as the villain. But growing up, you know, having all these villains have that German accent, knowing about World War II and stuff like that, I've always been kind of a little apprehensive about Germans and Germany in general. Now I'm a complete 180 now at this point, because at this point I've talked to a bunch of you guys and a lot of you have shared your stories and experiences with me. And I know for a fact that's just not the way it is. You guys are you're just like us. For the most part. For the most part. Not everything. Sometimes we're crazy, sometimes you're crazy. I guess we're all just a little crazy. But this has been a fun video. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for enjoying this with me. If you have any cool spots when I finally do get the chance to come to Germany, and I'm trying to put things into work to make this happen somewhat soon, any cool places you recommend I visit, post it down in the comments. Any food I should try, stuff you can't really find in America, or something that's really indicative ingrained in your culture. I would love to try something cool. Any restaurants you recommend, hotels to stay at, shows to see, anything like that that you think a tourist would love to see, let me know. I'd be greatly appreciative. But if you enjoyed your time with me today, like and subscribe, and I'm going to catch you guys out on the next video. Bye, everybody.